I am Viles and I'm here to explain how to do the Schycle 4.0 for room 4. I'm gonna do this with my gold, which is a 43.86. I think this is a good example because in the end I have a little fail, but I use a backup that is really useful. So yeah, it's a really good run with a good backup strat. So yeah, I'm gonna start explaining it. The first thing you want to know it is that in the very start there is a little cycle log. This is a little tricky and it is a really pain thing. Yeah. The thing is that if you get to the point where the spikes are start to coming out of the floor, you can reach that really fast and you dash into the spikes and die. So yeah, you have to be really fast in the first part of the room, but you can be extremely fast because then you literally can do nothing and you are cycle locked and you die. There is a few ways to save that situation with weird backups I saw in Alex, for example, but normally you couldn't react to that properly. So yeah, I recommend you if you feel like you are getting too fast to the cycle, slowing a bit your wall jumps or doing some things I'm gonna explain now a little different in the first part. After that, nothing is cycle locked, so yeah, this is the best of you. You start doing a little jump and wings. This in this video, this jump is a bit higher than it should, but it's okay because I still get a good cycle. This is not really important how big you do it, but it's a bit better to do a small jump with a like a medium jump, like here with a medium wings here. And yeah, you have to do a wall jump in the left, wall jump in the right, and wall jump in the left, so you get the nice feet right in this visual clue. If you get a bit high, you bonk with the ceiling, and if you get too low, you bonk with the spikes after the C dash. So yeah, most of the fails of room 4 are here because all the room in general is pretty linear and there is no a lot of room to fail if you practice this a lot. It's like a really consistent room. So yeah, here you do a C dash and this is a bit hard to explain because I don't have a visual clue for where to stop the C dash. But the point is try to holding right all the room. You need to be as close as the wall as possible. Like the thing here is that you have stopped the cedars too late. You will hit this platform, and if you cancel it too early, you will just don't have enough distance for your dashes, and it will become a really slow way of doing it, and you can't really reach the cycle. So yeah, there is a proper distance this, but it's more like a feeling, and you have to try it a lot to know where you have to stop it. You probably can make some visual clues, but I don't really know anyone. So yeah, here you just let you fall a bit and try to make enough distance. This is a lot of improvisation in the first part of the room, so most of the fails are here because of that. You need to make it with the wings a distance enough to make the dash and touch this wall. If you cancel the dash a bit earlier, you will need to fall more and do a bigger wings. If you can cancel the C dash a bit later, you will need to do a smaller fall and a smaller wings. So yeah, you need to take this wall like in the bottom of it, like for a millisecond touch it. Yeah, here uh, here you can see this uh, this particle uh, hides it, but yeah, here I'm touching the wall and resetting my dash. So after that, you need to do a dash like in the middle. This is a bit higher. You probably want to do it like here, like one night smaller. But yeah, here you have to do the dash. Here is the cycle lock I was talking about earlier. If you get here too fast, you will die to these spikes in this dash. So yeah, and you do a pogo, buffering a dash, and a wings after the dash. Again, buffering it as best as you can. This is probably the hardest part of the start of the cycle. It's really weird to get used to it, but once you learn it, it's really consistent. So yeah. And then another pogo dash. Here is a trick that is really useful. It's not needed for the cycle, but in my opinion, you should always do it. Here, you normally will do a pogo dash instantly, but the trick is that you pogo and gain the height of the pogo and fall again the same height. Like if you do the pogo here, you make this like getting the height and back to the same position, and there you do this dash instead of doing instantly. This little trick lends you a bit more to the right in the whole room, and it is really useful and gets you better time. So yeah, try to use it. But if you are in a really bad cycle at the start, this is not useful a lot because it loses a bit of time in the start of the cycle. It's a weird thing. But yeah, if you see confidence and you are getting a proper cycle, you should always try to do this. And there are a lot of ways to do this part, like with different weightings and wings and things in this part. But I'm gonna explain how I do it myself. The thing is that you do a small wings to be at the middle height of the room. You here do a pogo dash with the shadow dash. This is really important. The mm, the cycle is for the cycle it's really important to respect the shadow dash's weight. If you do a normal dash instead of a shadow dash, this at first can look faster, but it's not because it lands you in a really bad positions where you have to wait for south. This is really calculated, so yeah, always wait for your shadow dash refreshes where they should. You do a pogo shadow dash, a small wings again to have a good altitude here. There is some people who let fall and do the wings again, but I prefer to do it in the same spot and pogo and wait here for the shadow dash. I do a wings for waiting in, and yeah, here you do a pogo dash, pogo and wait again for your next shadow dash. And if you get all the height in the room, you will not touch these spikes. But if you let you fall more where before, you probably gonna hit these spikes because your shadow dash will refresh time. So yeah, it's a bit tricky at the start getting this, but you need a lot of height in general in the room. But yeah, you get it. Pogo does these spikes, Pogo this cell, let you fall. All the room is holding right all the time. All the time, as you can see, you hold right. So yeah, that's really important. And let you fall and pass through this hole with your shadow dash. Here you if you get a better cycle, you can do kind of a matrix pogo in this saw, but normally you will just pogo the bottom saw and pogo dash, buffer it 2 times, and pogo the saw. Here, if you get a really good cycle and you are in a right spot with the delay we talked about earlier, here you don't need wings to reach this, but with at the start you probably won't reach the end without wings here. So yeah, take that in mind, and you let fall do the ascending arc as soon as you can without touching these spikes. The thing here I was talking about the fail and the backup is that you normally here want to do a hit on this knight and at maximum distance. So if you hit him at max distance, you won't get the knockback. The thing is that if you fail that slash because you do it too early, you can just shadow dash through it, and after you throw your fireballs, you can shadow through it again and do it the damage at it is at the same time because this knight still dies before the other knight, so you don't lose time at all. But yeah, the normal strat here is doing the slash. An important note is don't do this slash really close to the knight because it have a small iframes window where if you slash and then shadow dash to it at like the same time, um, they will get invincibility and they won't get hit by the shadow dash. So yeah, take that in mind and always do it at a max distance possible. So you dash through it, you do a turn around, a really close turn around, and do three fireballs, normally with the timing method of the fireball skip. And yeah, as you can see here, I do the shadow dash, the backup I was talking. And here comes the timing method. There is a lot of hundred of timing methods, like probably 10 or 12 timing methods I know. I'm gonna explain the one I use, but there is both visual and with the sounds. I always use the sounds one. An important note about this is something curious, is that if you have the music on in Hollow Knight, the audio clue will be displaying later, so you will not have the same clue. So yeah, it's really important to have the music sound off all the time in Path of Pain room. So yeah, my method is I get to these thorns in the background, these little thorns here, like yeah, you see this shape. You get the left part of your knight in this, near this, like not touching any thorn at all. And the audio clue comes here. Listen. You notice how the music starts to increase like a louder pace? Yeah, there in the thing, in the when it comes to the loud sound, you start your timing method. The one I use is a shadow dash and a C dash, and that's all. I really like this one because it have only two inputs, and that means you can't fail a lot of inputs. So yeah, I recommend you this one, but you can use whatever you want. You get the door, and here for stopping the C dash, you need to press to stop the C dash when you are going in this bus. Like when you touch this bush, you stop the feedback and you will get in the position to talk here. So yeah, this is how you do the Schycle 4.0. I hope this was an useful tutorial. And if you have some doubts with alternative methods or something, ask in the comments or in IL movement in the Hollow Knight speedrunning Discord. So yeah, bye.